All right, we are about to get started with our finals match. Thank you everybody for coming in. It is time for us to get going. Please welcome our two finalists in the tournament, Malteser and Okinamo. Malteser, you are seed, I believe it was number 12 out of qualifiers, and you have made it here undefeated to the finals match. How do you feel before the last match of the tournament?
A bit nervous, but it should be fine. Hopefully the same strat works against Okinamo. Maybe I'll have to change it up, but who knows?
Who knows? All right, do you have any other special picks prepared besides the Nomad 6? I know we saw that in that previous matchup. Is it going to be a different special pick this time around, or are we looking at something similar again?
Don't know.
Don't know. All right. Last thing, how confident are you going into the finals matchup after so far undefeated run?
Not that confident, but I'm going to try my best. That's it.
All right, well, we all hope your best is good enough to get the win. Good luck in the matchup.
So, both you and Malteser have been essentially, whether it's been on stage or practicing on stage or back, you guys have basically been playing all day. Is any fatigue setting in, or are you guys just beasting it?
Well, the first days I've been playing for like 4 hours plus, but the last 3 days I've been playing for like an hour maybe, and for this match I'm not even that warm, I think. Yes.
So it's the other way around, but we'll see if that even matters. All right, well, good luck.
The players in to do some rolls now. Our final roll with the D100s. Malteser rolling black, Okinamo rolling white. It is an 82 for Okinamo and 54 for Malteser. Okinamo winning the roll to start us off. And we're going to go ahead and get into the rest of the match. Good luck to both of these players, both of them making it here to the finals so far without a single match loss. One of these players will have that change for them right now as we get into our last match of the tournament.
What was that? I can't hear you. We've got some rowdy supporters out here tonight.
We definitely do, but it makes it all the more fun. You love to see the crowd support for both sides, especially. We were talking a little bit about how both of these players, kind of picking the similar skill sets before the match. Why don't we talk a little bit more about that? Because I think a lot of people maybe just tuning in should be familiar, especially with Okinamo, right? German OWC mainstay, but maybe a little bit less familiar with Malteser, who is well known in team tournaments right now, but potentially a little bit less known than somebody like Okinamo, who has that OWC exposure year after year in the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned it in Malteser's earlier match, but Malteser is the kind of person who used to really be the backbone of like DT lineups in other tournaments, but has really expanded his game here into more hard rock strength, more just general speed strength in Nomad 2s and Nomad 5s like that. So he's a nasty threat in just about every kind of map on this pool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the amount of aim control in particular has really favored Malteser throughout this tournament. There's a lot of maps where you need very precise aim control, especially in the Hard Rock pool. Of course, that Hard Rock 2 and Hard Rock 3, both prime examples of that. But Malteser also very, very strong on maps like the Nomad 4. Very good Nomad 2 player as well. I think a lot of these players, well, both of them that are left right now, are going to be seeing exactly how good both of them are on those speed maps, on those stamina picks, and potentially predicting whether or not they can win them out of the gate. I think Malteser maybe a little bit favored on some of those speed maps. We've seen him get that 900k plus on Nomad 2. We've seen him get 700k plus on Nomad 5, 900k on Double Time 2 as well. So he has had phenomenal scores on those speed map. Not to say that Okinamo's have been bad. He has competed with Neneric on speed. He has competed with tons of other speed players throughout this tournament, but he has traditionally been the stronger speed player in a lot of those matches, and I think this may be one of the first matches where we see that kind of dynamic flipped on its head, and Okinamo picking more in some of the hidden maps, into some of the reading maps, and going into some of the picks that Malteser may be a little bit less comfortable on.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And let me just say, we were talking about this in the back, it's a very curious phenomenon that the two players in the grand finals are seeds 7 and 12. And I think that's it's a statement that it's not even that the qualifiers judge these players bad, it's that you almost need an extra something among a situation where there's so many unknown variables, so many eyes on you, and there's like way more pressure, and I mean, hell, Katberger just won 3rd place, and he was seed 14th. He barely made it here in the 1st place. I just think it's a very, very cool phenomenon that, you know, really anyone could have been in these finals.
Yeah, the players who are able to rise to the challenge, who are able to adjust quickly to the land setting, who are able to swap between setups very quickly and adjust to the difficulties that not only the land setup but using laser rather than stable OS brings, have been the players who were able to really thrive in this environment. Okinamo and Malteser both pushing through a lot of the difficulty that those types of setting changes bring a lot of times, and doing a fantastic job of adapting to it and still playing their best, setting those ridiculous scores that we know they're capable of.
Mm-hmm. That being said, we're past the protect stage, into the band stage. The bands are from Okinamo, the DT3. That makes perfect sense. A little frightened of the Malteser speed, and from Malteser it is the hidden 2 band. We saw that, I believe, in earlier matches, and especially against Okinamo. That would be a deadly map for him. So good bands, very understandable bands from both of these guys.
And this is, on paper, this is curious, right? You see the hidden 2 ban from Malteser right into a Nomad 6 pick from Malteser. But this is a map that he has practiced.
Yes.
This is the one of those 2 reading picks that Malteser has put in a bunch of time practicing, a bunch of time memorizing the patterns and making sure he is good to go on this. He was able to get over 400K on this the last time he played it, and it's what he used to help close out a match in the semifinals to get to this finals position. So he has to be confident on it, comfortable picking this as his first map of the match, to be picking it into Okinamo, who, honestly speaking, has struggled with this extremely low approach rate. AR6 is not normal in tournament. Most players are much more well adjusted to AR8 rather than AR6, and there is a massive difference between the two.
Though I do absolutely enjoy the presence of a map where if you really do put in the hours, you can really gain some ground on opponents where otherwise it may be a competitive map or even a loss. I do enjoy this idea of a map being in here. And from the quarter of the way through, it's going exactly how he would hope it to be. Malteser might even be exceeding the score that he got in the previous semifinals match.
Yeah, against Reedcat, this strategy worked very well for him, and it's working once again against Okinamo. Just memorizing a lot of these patterns and being able to execute on them in match is a big deal on a map like this. When you can get some combo together on a map like this, it'll do so much for your score overall with the way that laser scoring works. Again, this is much more akin to Score V1 than Score V2, and it shows on a map like this where you still have 120,000 score for Okinamo with 63% accuracy. The combo that Malteser has in turn is so much better for him that he still has a 200,000 plus score lead and is just doing phenomenally well. Actually, full combos the jump spam section, misses right afterwards, but that's the hardest section of the map. He full combos the triangle jump spam. Those perfect overlaps are so difficult, and he's able to make it through that section already well over 400,000. Far and away better score this time around than he got against Reedcat as well.
Opening this match, certainly not a map that we thought he would lose, but absolutely with a bang, like PBing at least on the stage here.
And you can see even Malteser just stopping playing there for a second to readjust, make sure he can actually get back into some of the patterns. You don't want to look up too bad, but at this point it doesn't matter. 300,000 score lead to start us off.
Hey, if you can't lose points, you might as well take that extra second to recompose yourself.
Yeah, more than double score for Malteser right off the bat. Very, very solid overall play on that Nomad 6 from him, and I think a very solid pick overall. He had a great time on that map, and it leaves open a lot of the other speed picks that he's going to want to try to use and abuse against Okinamo to close this match out.
Yeah, absolutely. Malteser will always have a few of those kinds of maps in his back pocket. It's just the kind of player that he is. It's just how good he is. And this is the exact kind of pick I was expecting from Okinamo coming out of the gate with this hidden one. This is absolutely the ultimate kind of map for him.
Yeah, Okinamo, a disgustingly good hidden stream player. Hidden streams are his bread and butter, and when you combine the two in a map like this, it is something that is very, very potent for him. It's something that I expect him to do very, very well on. And Malteser, despite what we saw on the AR6 Nomad 6 pick, he's not exactly a hidden player. He did ban out that hidden 2 for a reason, and so I expect this map to go relatively well for him, for Okinamo in particular, because of that. Not only is it his own strengths, but it's something that Malteser isn't exactly the best at. Maybe talk a little bit about the map, because I know this one has a couple of really interesting patterns in it. We've seen Catburger, for example, full combo those wiggle streams more than once now.
Yeah, this map is approximately like 195 BPM, I'd say.
193.
Oh, excuse me. Filled with a bunch of, like you said, wiggle bursts, pentagon bursts, accelerating streams, the ones that you're seeing right here. And Malt is immediately dropping a bunch of hundreds on them, not even necessarily missing on them. And then these like cross-screen jumps followed by anti-jumps. A very brutal combination to put those back-to-back like that. So even though the hardest part of this map is probably the stream shapes, it is still a hidden one. We still got to have a bit of aim in there.
Big combo right now for Okinamo on this map. Wasn't the best start for him. Malteser actually coming out ahead in combo and score after the intro.
Not ahead anymore.
No,
Just straight up.
not at all. This is a far better score for Okinamo already. Doesn't manage to hit that wiggle stream, but it doesn't matter. It's already met about 250,000 score over Malteser on this map, and Okinamo looking extremely good on this pick. As expected, this is the type of map that is almost made for him.
Yeah, hitting that section is freakish. Don't like understate it. And, like him missing on that is no big deal at all. And since the score lead is so large, I don't think he'll lose sleep over it either. Entering the last quarter of this map now, I think Okinamo would basically have to stop playing, and even that may not even be enough.
No, I think that this one is more than over at this point. Two very, very strong picks for both of these players out of the gate, both of them knowing exactly what kinds of maps they will want to pick into, exactly what kinds of maps are good for them, and it really showing in these first two picks. Over 250,000 score ahead by the end of it for Okinamo.
I would fully expect the hidden 3 to be picked later on.
The crowd support is so loud, I can't even hear what Woy is saying. The crowd goes wild for Okinamo, quite literally, and for a good reason. Very solid first point for him. I think this sets us very well up for the rest of the match right now.
I can't even determine the crowd favorite, to be honest. It seems pretty even, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
There's a bunch of supporters for both of these players, which is awesome to see.
It really is. And this is now another pretty straightforward pick. Nomad 5 picked up for Malteser. This is 260 BPM bursts and streams. Not too much else to say besides that, honestly. A lot of the patterning of this map, very, very straightforward. Kimo, the mapper, also known as Sarenhide, did a very good job of making this map very simple, very straightforward, and one that, any player can pick up and play pretty easily. There's no real reading strain, but if you can't tap this map, if you don't have the speed for it, you are going to have a very bad time. This is a relentless assault of just 260 BPM over and over throughout the entire map.
I would say this is a little bit of a risky pick for Malteser because Okinamo, I do believe, has made it very far in tournaments like Speed Cup. So he'd probably keep up on this. We'll see how it compares, but I wouldn't count him out of this on paper.
I do think we could have potentially seen something like the Hard Rock 3 as a little bit of a safer pick for Malteser if he did want to go that route, but as of right now, it's working out for him. A little bit of an early combo lead for Malteser right out of the gate. Okinamo falling behind in combo just a bit at the start of this map, but only 120 combo down. Not that much of a combo lead for Malteser right now, and this could swap back at any point. We've seen a lot of players miss on this jump section. The in-between section here in the transition back into the streams proving much trickier than a lot of players initially expect, but neither of these players getting caught off by them. Malteser multiple times throughout this tournament has put up very, very high scores on this map, and you're expecting the same to come through for him here. There's another one of those jump sections and almost ulti section in this part of the map. And he finds the miss aim on that stream. And now Okinamo with the big combo going to try to pull the score lead back towards him. It's only a 10,000 score lead. This is moving over very, very quickly for Okinamo's side. And he should be able to get a massive score lead put together with the size of the combo lead he has right now.
And look at the act difference. Even if it doesn't matter as much in laser scoring, it's a sign of comfort. Okinamo all the way up in 98s has not really strayed from that either.
Both players going to see exactly what the score is right now, exactly what the combos are as well. 25k in the lead right now for Okinamo with a massive combo lead to boot. 480 combo, 472 combo up right now over Malteser. And like you said, the ACK, a sign of comfort on this map. Okinamo said he wasn't warm before this match.
Give me a break. Come on, man. I'd hate to see what warm is.
Yeah, this is such a solid score from Okinamo already. You're looking at the reverse choke to come through, and so much free combo for him during this section leading up to the very ending quarter of the map. If we see the break from Okinamo and we see a Malteser combo the ending, this could be what he needs. That break for Okinamo is massive for Malteser. If Malteser is able to hold throughout the rest of the map. No, he finds the break as well. And that may as well seal it up. Malteser finding the miss where he needed to hold, and Okinamo with massive combo through the middle of the map.
I mean, I do think this map would have been picked eventually by one of these players. Seeing it so early is, I mean, I don't know.
I think this pick is a toss-up no matter who goes for it. And unfortunately, it was Malteser who ended up biting the bullet, having a rough time on this map, on this run. And this is the type of matchup where I could see somebody else picking double time too, and the exact opposite result happening, Malteser being able to get the better score on it that time around. I think you really can't tell exactly who is going to be better through the rest of the match. But on this run, on this map, for this No Mod 5, it was Okinamo taking the first break point. And you can just hear huge cheers from the crowd for Okinamo after that break point. They know it's a big deal for him. And yeah, getting that early of a break point really does matter a lot in a matchup like this. You can have such a big impact with that extra point for being able to set yourself up, avoid that tiebreaker later on down the line, and avoid having to go for some of those other coin flippy sorts of maps left up in the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in the match that Malteser had, he stole one Hard Rock against Recat in the start of the match, and that was the difference. I mean, that was it. Sometimes just that one is all it takes. But there is no room to breathe. We are right into the next map, and it is the one that I thought it might be. It is the Hidden 3.
Another aim control thickest pick in Hidden. This is a much lower BPM sort of map than what we saw in Hidden 1, 160 BPM. And you can just see the stream shapes in this map make it more akin to 320 BPM jumps at times. Lots of wiggle streams where the wiggles are gigantic. And a lot of other very high spacing streams throughout this map as well, leading into an ending section where you only have those super high spacing wiggles, where the map becomes near impossible to get high combo for. So the scores in the first 2/3, 3/4 of this map oftentimes determine the winner because nobody gets comboed here in the end.
Even now, combo resets for both players across the board. Getting like a 100 even is an accomplishment on some of these parts. And we're not, like you said, that end is harder. That being said, Okinamo has a sizable lead at the halfway point of this map. And the accuracy, again, a really good mark of comfort. 5% difference almost between these two players. Could tell you how this end is going to go. We will see. Actually, what is happening to the score?
It's going down very quickly towards Malteser's side, but extra combo now for Okinamo going into the last third of the map, and that is probably going to seal it up. 43,000 score lead, and we're coming onto that last quarter of the map where any sizable combo is basically impossible to accrue for either player, and you can see why. Look at the stream patterns in this map. These are streams. Those aren't jumps. Those are streams. And hitting those consistently is just impossible for the vast majority of players. It's certainly looking like it for these two as well. Two of the best in the world and two of the best players here at COE. It's going to be Okinamo closing it in and consolidating that break point with the win on this pick as well.
Malteser decidedly not far off, though. I mean, the difference on that was 40 or 50,000, which admittedly is not that much. So it could be a sign of how much these maps can be contested down the line.
Yeah, I think for Malteser, he's going to be looking for some safer picks right now, trying to get his footing back in this match and make sure that he can force that tiebreaker at worst or win at best before the tiebreaker. Either of those is a tough task, though. You're going to have to take back a break point at the very least. But luckily for him, no hidden pool left. No reading maps left in the pool to speak of, so it's all either Hard Rock, Nomad, or Double Time. All things that he is going to be pretty comfortable on. And speaking of which, we're on to the Hard Rock. Hard Rock 2 this time around is another aim control pick, similar in structure to what we saw in Hidden 1 and Hidden 3. Relatively low BPM like the Hidden 3, but the key difference here, Hard Rock and the circle size. CS 6.76, that is almost CS 7. Very, very small circles, and you've got a lot of really, really tricky patterns in this map as well.
This has been a very popular pick. I feel like this has been present in almost every match, at least the ones that I've seen. And, I mean, for good reason. If you're good at this map, you can really make some distance. You keep on mentioning Malteser's aim control, and for that reason, I can see why this might be a pick for him to lean into. But that being said, Okinamo does have an early lead. Despite a slight ACK deficit. I keep bringing it up. It doesn't matter too much for the points, but just something to keep him in mind, I suppose.
The one thing about this precision map, yes, it's a popular pick, but it's often backfired. The land settings and the troubles that players have had getting adjusted have made this an almost RNG pick, where a lot of players who have ended up picking it have actually ended up losing the pick. Malteser hopefully not falling prey to the same sort of map here. He did have a rough start, 20,000, 25,000 score lead for Okinamo right now, but with the combo that he has, no longer may be able to bring the score lead back over. It's not a huge score lead either, 20, 25,000, not that big of a deal in the first quarter of the map. So definitely a lot of time left for either of these players to accrue some combo, swing the score lead massively over to one side or the other. But throughout this map, you know, it's a very consistently difficult pick.
Yeah.
And these types of streams or the type of wiggle triples that you often see in this map prevent players from getting those big combos that let them swing it one way or the other very wildly. And so you often end up with a very close game state like what we have here. 20,000 points almost exactly separate the two players at the halfway mark.
This map is approximately 3 minutes, but it feels like 6. It just does not stop. It has no time for you to breathe, especially if you're falling behind on it. Like, players hardly even making it to 50 combo at times, let alone 100.
That's why a lot of times on this map you'll see us tracking the score lead rather than the combo lead, because it's so hard to even keep track of when somebody gets a sizable combo. Everybody breaking all the time. That said, right now over 100 combo on Malteser, and he's going to start to bring that score lead back over to his side, but there goes the miss. And there goes his chance of pulling that score lead quickly one way or the other. And it seems though like neither player can really get a good combo together during the last part of the map.
Malteser at the moment is bringing back the lead very slowly, but it's not fast enough. I mean, we're in the last third of the map now. He's brought it down from like a 20K deficit to a 14, 15. Like, it's very close, but no one's really getting their feet underneath them. But if he like catches fire, maybe if it gets 200x, that's all it would take at this point. It's very close, on a knife's edge, as you keep saying.
We'll see if those small score leads, that's very slow, bringing it back over to his side will be enough for him to eventually get the score over to his side. We're closing in on the ending of the map though. Time is running out for Malteser. This slow section gives both players some combo. Whoever misses first maybe determines the winner and loser, and they miss at the same time. The score lead's gonna stay exactly where it is. No motion from that score at the stop. It's a 12 or 13,000 score lead, but it looks like it's gonna stay with Okinamo, and that is gonna be breakpoint number 2 for the German player. He's gonna put himself up 4-1 match point already in this matchup in the finals. And absolutely huge from Okinamo, being able to put himself up 4-1 early match point. He has multiple opportunities now to close this match out and avoid that tiebreaker. He has 2 picks left in his pocket to close this out, and with the way this matchup has been going, you have to think he'll be able to do it at some point.
I cannot speak for Malteser. I know he can hear me, but if I were in his shoes, that loss would have been such a heartbreaker. I mean, second break point, and both of them were close. I mean, the first one was like 50K-ish, and that one like within 20K. It would be a hard one to stomach, but I mean, if there's any map to maybe, contest, it would be this one. We might be be able to see some very good scores on this.
Yeah, we definitely might. This is a map that both of these players have the potential to completely pop off on. And despite the 4-1 scoreline currently for Okinamo, I think we can see a very, very close map here between these two. 200 BPM Stream Aim is the name of the game on this one. I say Stream Aim because neither of these players is really going to get tested in terms of stamina on this map.
No.
At only 200 BPM, these players, both of them are speed demons. They're not really going to get stamina gapped on this at all. And so you're looking only at the Stream Aim made by Happy30 to really test either of these players. Those combo breaks either by over-tapping a single tap right after a stream,
yes,
or by mis-aiming some of the streams in this map is exactly how we're going to see this one decided.
Oh, and the first break does go to Okinamo. Early advantage to Malteser. I mean, we will see, but something like that might be the difference between these two. They're just both so good at this map.
We have seen Okinamo miss there before and combo the rest of the map, basically. So I think there is maybe a bit of a pattern with that sort of pattern.
Okay.
Not to be coy about it, but I think that pattern is probably just something that doesn't really agree with him, and he should be pretty good for the rest of this map. So you're looking at Malteser to really put up a massive combo before breaking in order to counteract what is probably a really large combo to be gotten from Okinamo during the middle of this map.
So you're basically saying don't give him an inch because he'll take a mile.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, another break from Okinamo is not going to do him any favors.
Oh, there's the inch.
However, I mean, because of that miss, the lead is not going to sway that much from here. It's kind of going to stay the same, even though Okinamo does have a slight advantage. I don't think it's going to be enough if things stay as they are, if these players combo out for the rest of the map.
Well, we'll see whether Okinamo is able to replicate, some of his other scores on this map where he did find those really massive combos going into the ending sections of the map. He's going to almost need to with this score lead right now. It's still over 100,000 score in the favor of Malteser right now. And there's a break from Okinamo. Malteser poised to take good advantage of that break and take back at least one of the break points that he has lost so far.
Yeah, it's not over yet, but he's going to really need to start praying for a meltdown, which I'm not sure that's coming. Malteser's very good at this map as well. Both accuracies very good, by the way. I keep on mentioning the accuracies. Like 98, high 98 on this is very good.
Yeah, the accuracy far less important with the scoring system, so we don't tend to pay too much attention to it. But
I would like to do them some favors. Like when it's really good, I'd like to point out that it's very good.
Yeah, exactly. These are both very, very good accuracies, like you said. And just shows again how comfortable they both are on a map like this. That double reset, by the way, I think probably seals this up. We have a quarter of the map left to go. 0 combo to speak of for either of these players, and still a 100,000 score lead for Malteser on this map. This is very likely his way back into this match for his next pick. He at least keeps himself alive in this match and keeps the chance at first place going for himself.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, this map is over. We're going to see if these players can hit this brutal ending, but it's kind of all for show. And yeah, that seals it. Malteser stays alive.
Solid runs for both of these players. I think much more misses in the middle of the map than we initially expected. Both of these players have had incredible runs on that map so far throughout the tournament. So seeing a lot of misses in the middle there are a little bit unexpected from both of them, but Malteser able to come out on top. Very big combo at the start of the map, very big combo in the middle to match Okinamo's combo as well, and he was able to keep himself alive, put up a second point on the board with that second break point of his own, and now going into a comfort pick for himself. This Nomad 4 is something he has actually relied on before, and I think I like it a lot after just having won on that Nomad 2.
Yeah, I like this idea a lot. I mean, I didn't get a complete look at the maps that are left, but I would imagine this is as good a shout as anything that he has left.
Yeah, and especially, you know, this Nomad 4, it's almost all stream aim.
Yeah.
This is not really a slider aim map. It's not like the Hard Rock 3 in this pool, and it's not like a lot of the, Halgo Sharu Nomad 4s that you tend to see in a lot of tournaments nowadays. This is the Aspo Nomad 4. This is stream aim taken to the extreme in this map. Lots of cut streams that accelerate and decelerate and have massive spacing or change direction and change the way that they're structured from curved to linear within the same stream. It's so difficult to adjust to those types of changes midstream that a lot of players tend to just find tons of misses all over the place on maps like these. And you can see already both players finding a couple of misses here. Malteser finding the first miss, followed by Okinamo right afterwards. And that's probably going to happen throughout this map. You're not going to see a lot of players who can consistently get 200 plus combo on a map like this.
But this intro does leave Malteser on the back foot. I would say the second half of this map is a little easier than this first half, so there is room for comeback potential. But yeah, neither player really getting a foothold on this brutal first half. It's really hard to tell how this last one's going to go, but we might get, depending on how things go, a very exciting finale here if things stay in Okinamo's court.
We'll see if this winds up being good enough for Malteser here. Does have a combo lead going into the second half, and this is a free combo portion, so he's very likely to take the score lead during this section of the map as long as he doesn't miss on nothing. As long as he doesn't miss on the aim during this section.
Most players love to miss on nothing, though. So, like, nothing is really safe, especially at such a vital point in this match. But the score lead does flicker, and it's kind of skyrocketing toward his favor. If he does miss, Okinamo has a little bit of combo to try to take advantage of something. Oh, and there goes a miss from Malteser. This is not over. That score lead, just as quickly as it went in Malteser's favor, is rocketing back now. And with another miss, it's going to keep going that way. It's within 10,000. And it flickers over now. Okinamo holds on.
Okinamo holding on during the space double section here. The change in mapping style not affecting him in the slightest. There's finally a miss aim on those doubles. But Malteser doesn't have the combo to take advantage. He has only a small combo lead right now. It's still a 30,000 score lead for Okinamo at the moment. And Malteser is going to have to combo a lot of this cut stream section going into the ending to make it happen.
Oh! I heard him shout in frustration at that one. I think that might be the nail.
I believe it is. It's been a hard-fought tournament for both of them. It's been a hard-fought set of maps here at the end for both of them as well. But through it all, Okinamo has persevered. After 2 tiebreakers in a row to start out the tournament, Okinamo has finally found his footing. He's found the perfect setup for himself at LAN. He's adjusted to laser better than anybody else, and he has won the COE 1v1 tournament! The crowd just goes absolutely wild for Okinamo, and for good reason. We've finally seen our champion decided. Congratulations to Okinamo on first place, and congratulations to Malteser on a second place finish in the COE tournament as well. Round of applause for second place in Malteser.
No slouch of an accomplishment at all.
And I believe we have a special announcement coming from the tournament organizers as well. We want to also congratulate our third place winner in Catburger, who was able to take down Reed Cat in the third place deciding match. Congratulations to Catburger as well for third place. And for now, I want everybody who left at the venue to come back over here. We have one more thing to do for this tournament, and that is the prizes. We want to present all of the top 3 players in this tournament with both their cash prizes and something else a little special here. Let's give it up for Chillier Pair, the tournament organizer for the COE 1v1 tournament.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for sticking around for the last match. This tournament has been a couple months in the running now, since we started custom mapping all the way to planning the tournament back in, I don't even know what month it was now. That's how long it's been. But we finally have our top 3 of the tournament. Our first place finisher, Okinamo, on the left. Second place, Malteser, and third place, Catburger from earlier. We have our cash prizes, of course, for the top 3. Okinamo will be receiving after the very generous donation from Pepe of an extra 1,000 euros to our prize pool. So Okinamo, you will be going home with 1,000 euros as the first place prize. Malteser, you'll be taking home 700 euros. And Catburger for third place, you'll be taking home 300 euros. It's okay. We would also like to award our top 3 placements a COE 2022 poster, hat, and Yuki Aim has generously given us posters as well for our second and third place. We also have some stickers for you. For our first place, Okinamo, if you want to come over here. Not only do we have the 2 posters, hat, stickers, and mouse pad from Yuki Aim. You may want to put those down for a second. We have also been given, one of the attendees at the event has very kindly made you a full metal engraved first place trophy to take home with you. So let that be a reminder of what you accomplished today at this event. To our top 3 placements, let's give it another round of applause. Okinamo, Malteser, and Catburger. That's it. We're done. You can all go home. Thanks for watching.